Hi, I'm Gloinger, and the first time I saw the long shot bonus in Phantom Forces, you know, the one that you get for shooting someone at long range, I thought it said lung shit. Subscribe. Alright, so let's just cut straight to the chase here. The Uzi with 41 AE is pretty underrated. Let's put this into perspective. It's got 50 max damage and 22 min damage. That's not even bad for, like, a battle rifle or something. It's also got some nice markipliers, which make the funny numbers that come out of the barrel even higher. It can one-shot to the head at close range, and I think it 3 shots at long range? I don't know, and I don't really give a shit, because it's a PDW, you probably shouldn't either. I mean, come on, who the fuck does that? Who the fuck uses a PDW anywhere past 100 studs? Okay, so I was hungry and feeling lazy, so decided to order food from Doordash, right? I was feeling McDonald's. Usually when I get McDonald's, I get a quarter pounder with cheese, right? I saw that they'd added a review tab for individual items. I don't have any goddamn idea why. And since I was feeling a little bit devious, I checked the reviews for the quarter pounder. There was only one review. It was 3 stars. It said, word for word, half of the quarter pounder was basically raw. 3 goddamn stars. I lost my shit. Like, seriously, who the fuck receives an absolutely honest-to-God, uncooked piece of meat between 2 pieces of bread with seeds on it, and then decides it was a 6 out of 10? I get it, it's fast food, it's not exactly gourmet, but like, half of the quarter pounder was basically raw. And this isn't something that they could directly complain about to the restaurant either, at least not easily, since they ordered it online, they couldn't ask any employees or anything like that. Let's think about this for a little bit. This person might have been going through an absolutely terrible time in their life. They might have just suffered a loss in the family, or a breakup, or might have been laid off from their job. But no matter how much their life was hitting them over the head with a baseball bat, they still decided to rate the uncooked quarter pounder 3 out of 5 stars. What a hero. Maybe it's because the water that was on the quarter pounder from being stuck in a refrigerator for a couple of weeks bumped it up from a quarter pounder to a 2/3 pounder. Either way, the moral of the story is probably make sure your food is cooked before it gets delivered to you. Unless you're like into that or something. I don't know, some quote-unquote people like to eat frozen pizza cold. Ugh. Maybe the quarter pounder being half raw was a good thing in their eyes? Hey, I finally don't have to wait 3 days to eat the food I ordered because it's already cold! Let's fucking go! Since the Uzi with 41 AE has 50 max damage, it can 2-shot to the limbs at close range. But Gloinger, how far does it 1-shot to the head to? I don't know, probably like 50 or 60 studs? It's kind of a shitty range, but with its handling, it's pretty damn good. But Gloinger, how far does it 2-shot to the limbs to? Probably just up to its max range. It only does 50 damage and drops off pretty quickly. But Gloinger, how far does it 2-shot to the head to? Okay, this is getting out of hand. Here are the damage numbers. Here are the markipliers. Here's a calculator. Do the math yourself. For fuck's sake, I'm not your dad. That's pretty much the technical side all cleared up, but how does it do in gunfights? Well, assuming you can stay in the server long enough not to get kicked by some 11-year-old Latin American kid for, hackies? Hackays? H's? Jesus Christ, this is giving me a headache. As long as you can aim fairly well, it's pretty alright in gunfights, especially at close range. I mean, just because it's got a Willy Wonka-ass conversion on it doesn't mean it's not still a PDW. Main issue is probably just that it's locked to semi-auto. It's not even really that much of an issue. If it had an automatic option, it would probably be the best gun in the game, or at least the best PDW. Unfortunately for those of you who pre-bought the USAS-12, it's locked to semi. Deal with it. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the advanced stats. I already mentioned this a couple of times before, but I'll say it again because it's pretty damn important. The Uzi with 41 AE has a higher than average head and torso markiplier, with a 2 times headshot markiplier and a 1.2 times torso markiplier. Now, for those of you who aren't totally familiar with the practice of selecting a gun, opening up the advanced stats tab, opening up the attachments tab, and spamming the equip and unequip buttons on attachments while looking at the advanced stats, releasing your true inner Strider stam, I'll have you all know that that is 60% higher than the normal headshot multiplier and 20% higher than the normal torso multiplier.
And so really, the basic stats are lying to you. It's all a ruse made up by the globalists, because you use the quote-unquote meta guns. And I think people like you need to wake up to the truth of meta. If you don't agree with me, you're not a real American. You're part of the establishment trying to indoctrinate our children with the meta. I'm a real American.
Now, as much as I'm gushing about this, it's still got some problems. I know, I said it. I know. Calm down, all of you metastases. For one, the ranges are atrocious. I'll say it. The headshot multiplier kind of makes up for it. Not really, because the long-range damage is still dog shit. The muzzle velocity isn't really that good either. Most of the advanced stats are pretty good for a PDW, mostly pretty shit for anything that isn't a PDW. Pretty good at punching through walls, I guess? It's got like a 1.5 stud penetration depth or something like that. It might even be lower, I'm not entirely sure, and I'm not going to check. Still better than most other PDWs, and definitely miles ahead of most people, if you know what I'm saying. That's enough about the gun, though, really. If you really want to know if you'll like it, take a look at the stats by previewing it, or just pre-buy it and try it out. One more thing, though. Don't go yet. I've got a fan in my room, right? Like, I've got a ceiling fan, but I've also got this fan that's on the ground that you plug in to the wall to get that extra cooling action. The brand is, High Velocity Blower. I feel like that might be a little on the nose. I mean, like, you don't really gotta brag about her, though. Like, seriously.